Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would sit down and film my go-to makeup routine. It's really just like my go-to look that I do pretty much for like any occasion. And I almost wasn't gonna film this video because I was like, I feel like I just filmed like my go-to look like pretty recently, and I looked and it was pretty much over 2 years ago. I was like, oh my god, losing like 2020 just has like really messed with like my sense of time. So I thought it was definitely time to film like my updated go-to makeup look. So I'm actually going to my friend's graduation today, so like perfect. I'm just gonna do like my go-to look, and this is, I'm pretty sure you guys know what look I'm talking about. I've showed it in a couple videos, but I've never like done it really like in depth. But this is pretty much the look I've been doing for like the last like 6-7 months now, I feel like. So a lot of these products aren't new, they're like my holy grail stuff, so that's really good. I like filming videos with like stuff that already like, you know, you might have in your collection already. It's not anything super new. So yeah, I do this look. It takes me about maybe 15-20 minutes to do if I'm not like filming and talking and stuff, you know, just like one of those looks where like you just know exactly what you need to do. It's super fast and you look like you actually tried. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with, I haven't put anything on yet, so I'm just gonna moisturize really quick. I'm taking my Fenty Skin Hydra Visor. I am like out of it. I need to use, I have the refill, I don't know where it's at right now, so I'm just like taking some from the bottle like this. This is my favorite moisturizer and it has SPF in it as well. So moving on to brows, I use the Huda Beauty Balm Brows Pencil. I'm in the shade medium number 5. What is it? Medium brown number 5. So this pencil is super skinny and tiny, so it creates like the most perfect like brow hair strokes. And I don't do too much to my brows anymore. I honestly just like fill in little sparse areas because I have like pretty full brows anyway. So I just kind of fill in the sparse areas. I just really fill in and make like little hair like strokes towards the front because it's pretty sparse right there. I just carve out my brows with a little bit of concealer. I'm taking my ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer. Just use a little A La Mode Cosmetics like flat brush to do this. And I don't take like a lot, like I don't like it looking super carved out. I don't do this. It kind of looks like, I don't know, it doesn't look like my makeup is done if I don't do this. So we're gonna move on to the eyes, and for eye primer I always use the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. I need to get a new one because I pretty much like used most of it, but I love this eye primer so much. It really does make my eyeshadows pop. They also stay longer, and I mean, it's e.l.f. I can't remember how much this is. I want to say it's less than $5, if not $6. In the shade Cream, there are different shades, but this one matches my skin tone perfectly, and it really does hide a lot of the veins and stuff that I have on my eyes. Moving on to eyeshadow, if you guys know already, I pretty much use like the same palette every single time I do my makeup now. I really don't ever switch it up unless I'm doing something colorful or something, but if I'm doing something neutral, I always use the Fenty Snap Shadows in number 1 True Neutrals. This is literally like, I don't ever need anything else, and I love that it's just so small. I can take this with me anywhere. It's just so tiny. It literally is like the size of like a credit card. Not thin, like not thin wise. I mean, it's still pretty thin, but like size wise, I would say it's the size of a credit card. And I always use this shade and this shade right here, and this for like my liner, and that's about it. So I'm just taking this one right here, which is called Come and Get It. I always just throw this just in my crease. Literally like the most simplest eye look ever, but it really does like the little, I'll show you guys like when I'm doing it, but I do like a little like shadow liner, and it really just adds like a little something, and it looks like you really tried hard on your makeup, but it honestly takes like 3 seconds. One shade like is such a good brown eyeshadow that like if you go in really lightly, it works really nice as a transition, but then when you build it up, it works nice as a like deepening crease shade. So I just do that in the crease, super easy. The thing I love about this palette is it has 3 different shimmers in here that you can use on your lid. Like the one I use all the time is Velvet Cuffs, this one, but if you want something a little bit smokier, you can do this like bronzy shade, or something a little bit more like pinky, you can use the pink shimmer, but I always use this one and it just always works. I just grab it with my finger, put it on. It's like the perfect lid shade. It's not super metallic, but it's still shimmery. which I like. It's not like overdoing it, you know? So once I have that down, it's like I said, it's a super easy like eyeshadow look, but what really makes it pop is like the wing liner that I do. I do a little bit of an inner corner wing and then like a smoked out wing. I use the dark brown shade in this palette with a little ColourPop E6 brush. This is like the perfect brush to do this with. Came out with the Limoncello collection. And I just start packing on this brown shadow across my lash line like that, straight into the mirror, just so I know like where to place my liner. And I just start bringing it out a little bit. Just like that, super simple. And then I just bring that wing on the inner corner as well. And see, like just adding that like wing liner, it literally takes like not even a minute, brings the look a little bit more to like the next level than just doing like something simple like this. So that's all I do for my eyes. And then when I put lashes on, I usually just use half lashes. I'll show you guys later, but that also really accentuates the eyes as well. So for foundation and concealer, those are the only two things that I really will change, just kind of depending on my mood or like where I'm going. I'll be using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation and the primer and the concealer today. But if I want something more matte and maybe just like to last, I mean, they both last all day long, but if I want something to last a little bit more in like the heat that's more matte, you know, I will use the Fenty foundation powder. I'm in the shade 150. I love this foundation so much. So if I want something matte and that will like pretty much, I know it will last like in the heat and stuff, I will use the foundation powder. But for today, I'm just going to use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. This one also lasts really good in the heat and stuff too, so I'm not too worried about that. It is hot today. This is like my holy grail foundation, so I love this little combo. So I'm just taking the primer, which is my favorite primer ever. I love it. And I'm just going to take my foundation. I'm in the shade Light 45W, and I take about half a pump. I don't really use too much foundation anymore, so I just take like literally that much with a sponge. And I just kind of blend that out. And this foundation is like a perfect match for me. So if you guys are a similar skin tone, Light 45 is my perfect foundation shade. And yeah, this foundation lasts all day on me as well. It works really well with a mask too. It doesn't like transfer too much. It just feels so lightweight on the skin. And this has been like my go-to foundation since it came out. So for concealer, I'm also going to be using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer. I do switch back and forth between this one and the Fenty Pro Filter. But for today, I'm just going to use this one, and I just like to apply my concealer right here and also right here, and that's about it. I don't really like swipe it too much anymore. I just apply it in those areas and just kind of blend it out like that. I think that this concealer has a little bit more coverage than the Fenty one, so also just depending on like how much coverage I want, like if I look a little extra tired or something, I will just like choose my concealer based off of that as well. So to set my under eyes, I use the Fenty setting powder. This is shade Butter. It's the perfect shade to set my under eyes, but it also sets it with brightening it as well without looking like overly brightening, you know? So I don't even need to take a lot. If you take too much, it is very mattifying. So I try to just take a little bit and tap off some of the excess. Really don't need a lot of the powder, but if you have oily skin, you know, I think you'll be fine with like however much you take. But skin's a little bit more on the drier side, I would say take like a little bit at a time. If you do use too much, sometimes it could be a little too mattifying, but just using like the right amount, if you just like dip it into the cap and then tap off the excess, it's perfect. It still sets it without being like too much, and it's not drying that way or anything. So for bronzer, no surprise here, I use this one all the time. This is the Element Cosmetics Bronzer Trio. This is what it looks like. I use the shade Medium, I believe, and as you guys can see, my middle shade is very well loved. It's literally my favorite bronzer of all time. It's like the perfect shade to bronze, but also I use it as like a contour as well, so I'm just taking that middle shade. This is a Makeup Shack T20 brush. That's pretty much all I do with the bronzer. I am going to go back into this afterwards with this shade right here, but I like to apply my blush first. The ColourPop Blush Quad in Cookie Cluster has become like my literally holy grail. I take this with me everywhere. Now if I do travel, I have been traveling just like when I went to Texas and stuff for my grandma. but I love this one. And I've actually learned to work with the highlighter in here. I remember in my video when I filmed with this, I said that the highlighter didn't work, but if you take it very lightly, it does work pretty nicely. So I like it. For blush, I like to mix these two shades and just apply it to my cheeks, a little bit to the top of my nose just for some blush there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and contour my nose. You guys can use anything. The powder that I use like literally doesn't exist anymore, so it's pointless to share it, but yeah, you guys can use whatever you use to contour or bronze to really accentuate the tip of my nose and create that little like button nose effect. And that's pretty much it. So before I go in with like baking and stuff, I will take the brightening powder from the Alamad Cosmetics little palette. Take Alamad's brightening brush as well for this, and I just take this shade right here, and it seriously love this powder so much. It's like a finishing touch for like when I'm doing all my highlighting and contouring and stuff. I don't know if you guys can tell too much on camera, but I feel like it really does make such a big difference with brightening under the eyes. I like to kind of take that along the sides of my nose, and that helps with already kind of shaping the nose as well when it comes to contouring. Once I applied that brightening powder, I'm going to go back into the Fenty setting powder, and I'm going to bake the sides of my nose and then underneath my contour just to clean it up. Use like a little sponge for this. This is from ColourPop. And I do this because it really does accentuate the nose contour that I do. So I love baking. Just apply a little bit of powder there, and then I apply a little bit just right here, and that also helps with accentuating the contours. So then moving on to, oh, I didn't do highlighter. I'm like a mess right now. I'm just going to go back into the ColourPop little trio, or little blush quad, and I'm just going to take that highlighter and just take a little bit on the tops of my cheek. I don't highlight too much anymore, so just a little bit really is enough. Take that same highlighter down the center of my nose. Again, that really does accentuate the contour that I do. So I just take the highlighter to about like right here. Like I don't take it all the way straight down, just like that, and then I will add it to the tip, and again that gives that like button nose effect. So then going back to my brows, I like to do this after I do like bronzer and stuff because sometimes they get messed up. So I like to set this once I know I'm not gonna be like using brushes or anything else on my face. I use the 24-hour brow setter. It's the best brow gel I've ever used, and it really does keep my brows up all day long. I also like to use the ColourPop brow wax, but when I'm in a rush, I just like to do this. I feel like it's a little bit faster. You like that fluffy brow look, and it truly does keep your brows in place all day long. Almost done. For mascara, I use the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes. This is like the best mascara I've ever used. There's two sides of it. There's a volumizing side and then a curling and lengthening side. To start off with the volumizing side first, and I like to start like at the root and bring that to the tips of the lashes, but I really like to like wiggle it at the roots. I like to focus on my lashes a little bit more than I used to because I use half lashes, so I like the inner part of my lashes to look, you know, nice and full right there. It's just like the volumizing side, and it makes such a huge difference. I'm gonna go in with the curl and lengthening side just to kind of lengthen them a little bit. I also feel like just the mascara through a little bit more. Honestly, you can just leave it like this. I haven't been wearing lashes that much lately, so I've been doing this. I'm gonna wear lashes today, but doing just this is good enough, and this mascara seriously is so good that like I don't even have to wear lashes most of the time anymore. While I was doing my mascara, I just realized I forgot to completely do my lower lash line, so I'm gonna go back with the palette. I'm gonna use the brown shade that we used first, and I'm just running that along the lower lash line. I'm gonna take a little bit of the darker shadow just on the outer corner and kind of just connect that to the top, and it really does add that like cat eye look a little bit. Apply some mascara to my lower lashes right now, and I'm going to put on my falsies, and then we'll finish up with the lips. Okay, so I went ahead and did my lashes really quick. I just put on some falsies. What I do to make my half lashes, I don't remember which ones these are. I know they're from the Bold Face Makeup. I just don't know what style they are, but you can get like any like wispy lashes. I just cut them in half, and I use the front half of the lash, and I just put that like from right here. I start right here, and I just put that on the outer half of my eye. So I use the inner half of the fake eyelash and I put that on the outer half of my lash line, and that really gives me that winged out effect. For my lips, I do switch back and forth between like 2 lip colors. The one I'm going to be using today is the Huda Beauty lip contour in Sandy Beige, and then the Power Bullet Cream Glow in Honey Bun, but I also will usually go back and forth between this and Fenty Honey Waffles Cream Gloss Bomb. So this is the liner that I'm using, and I love this lip liner. It's like the perfect brown. These lip liners stay on literally all day long, so I'm gonna fill my lips in because since I'm gonna be out, I want my lipstick to like last, you know? So, especially because I'm going in with like a creamy lipstick, those usually fade a little bit faster. Once these set though, they like have a lot of work time, like they're really, really creamy, but then like once they set, they're set, you know? And these lip liners are so creamy and comfortable that you can use these like just as lipsticks on their own. My lips in with that color. And I'm gonna go over it with Honey Bun. These are the new Cream Glow lipsticks. Adds a little bit of shine, which I like, without being like a gloss, you know? I love these lipsticks. I'm gonna go back a little bit with the lip liner. Just kind of like re-intensify it right here. And honestly, that's pretty much it. I don't do too much. I'm just gonna dust off this powder now. So this is the finished look, and like I said, I love this look. I just feel really pretty in this look. That's why it's my go-to. I can always count that I'll feel like good in a look like this. It's super simple, but it still is like nice enough to, you can wear this to like a party or go anywhere. Like I know a lot of people are graduating right now, like graduations, you know, whatever. This is like the perfect look to go literally anywhere. I've worn this look so many times. Hopefully you guys like this video. I love this look so much. So I always get a lot of questions about like what I use to like just for like my makeup that I do all the time. So hopefully this answers some of your questions. Like I said, I've done this look a lot in like other videos, but I've never done it like fully in depth. But yeah, this is the look that I do all the time, so I hope you guys like this video. Leave me a comment down below of what your holy grail products are that you always use no matter what, especially when you need to like just go somewhere. You like, they're just like your holy grails that you know will always work for you, just like these are mine. Like I know they'll work no matter what. So leave me a comment down below and tell me your products that are like those type of products that you just know will work for you no matter what. I hope that you guys liked this video. If you guys did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.